What's going on, guys? Timothy Willis here with T Dubs Entertainment, and I'm here to describe another character that I can't even say Super because he was ruined before Super. Um, Before that was ruined by Toriyama, and there was another person that ruined him too in another story. I don't know her name or whoever, but Toriyama himself ruined this character, and like I said, the other person. You remember when Bardock first appeared? He first appeared in the Goku versus Frieza fight when Goku had first met Frieza. Frieza had just recognized Goku's face from somewhere, and yeah, he recognized him, saying, "Oh yeah, he looked just like your father." And Goku was like, I really don't care. I don't care about them." Because Goku, one person that really didn't care about his Saiyan heritage was Goku. He didn't care because he didn't have a relationship with him. He didn't know. He didn't really know him. He wasn't raised up with him. Especially after the encounter with Raditz, he really didn't care about the Saiyans. After that, he really didn't like them. Especially they were going around destroying planets and conquering worlds and stuff. That went completely against his philosophy and how he did things. He was just not for it. So Bardock's character was ruined because he was hardcore. He was a hardcore bastard. And like I said, y'all know he's the type that I like. He was going around conquering planets. He didn't give a care about Goku's. He didn't give a care about Goku until Goku showed up in his vision, saying, showing him that it was his fate to take on Frieza and beat Frieza. He didn't care about Goku until then. I'm not saying Bardock's an amazing person. Again, just like Broly, I'm not saying he's an amazing person. No, he's a complete douchebag, but all the Saiyans are. But that's what made the show awesome, when you have douchebags. Because the reality is, everyone's not supposed to be awesome, guys. Everyone's not supposed to be a good person. Everyone's not going to be a good person, and that's what we liked about Dragon Ball Z. Some people were just scumbags. Some people were good. Some people were just not. And Goku was just this innocent person that with a pure heart. He was surrounded by people that some of them started out hating his guts. Some of them didn't care anything about him. And it was funny because he was so strong and powerful. He overcame all of that stuff because they couldn't beat him up, they couldn't whoop him. But his character changed him. Tien hated Goku. Tien used to win tournaments by breaking people's legs. Tien was a dirtbag. Krillin hated Goku. They were like rivals and enemies till being around Goku changed him. And you had all kind of different characters like that. But that's just the reality. But the reality is Bardock was a dirtbag. He was a person. He had a pretty average power level. They say he was close to King Vegeta in power, but in the large scheme of things, it didn't amount to anything because Frieza. We all know how strong Frieza is. He had his base level was 530,000, which so Bardock didn't stand a chance, and that's the part that made the movie kind of good, was because Bardock had no chance. But he was. We seen one or two fighting scenes with Bardock, and yeah, they were hardcore. So they took him and made him actually care about people. That's what made it bad. You might say, okay, what's so bad about that? Because it didn't make sense. Okay, they took the same Bardock that didn't care about people and threw him into the past, and all of a sudden, after being with this person, he was Plant. He met with this alien, and they were had to fight Lord Shield, and all of a sudden he started caring about people all of a sudden. And it was weird. It was kind of cringe because Bardock didn't care about anything. The only thing he cared about was he had fun and took pure delight in conquering planets. He was not a good person. Bardock was not a good person, guys. He was not. Only time he showed care and concern was when Frieza was going to put an end to the Saiyan race and blow up the planet, and all when their lives were in danger. He didn't care when it came to conquering other planets. The movie started out as him turning great ape. They were all great apes, and they were slaughtering millions of people, and they took delight in it. So he was not by any means a good person. He was a genocidal bastard, and he took pure delight in killing. He loved to kill. So I mean, um, yeah, that's the whole thing. He was just this evil piece of trash, but we liked him because he was cool. He had a cool design, pretty decent design, and the way they did him in Minus, he all of a sudden cared about his son and cared about his kids. And the Minus Dragon Ball, go back and read Minus, guys. Minus sucks. Minus was terrible. And the whole Dragon Ball, when they wrote Bardock to be turning Super Saiyan and stuff, they could have had a more interesting story than that. They could have had an alternate timeline. I guess that was alternate timeline. I don't know. But him going to the past was just kind of weird. It was weird. It didn't fit. It didn't make a whole lot of sense. They could have did it another way. I believe they could have did it another way. They could have had it to where he turned Super Saiyan fighting Dodoria or something. After it could have been an alternate timeline where he destroyed. They destroyed. Check this out. They could have destroyed where they destroyed his comrade. He came to find his comrades dead, and he found out Dodoria did it, and he turned Super Saiyan based off of that. That would have made more sense than going back to Plant and all that stuff, going back to the past and seeing his crew there. It would have made more sense that way. That way he would have seen his crew, he'd have had the blood-soaked bandana. It'd have been right there on the spot, him turning Super Saiyan. And Dodoria shows up just in time. Well, he's let's say he's getting beat up by Dodoria. It's a decent fight, but he's getting whooped. And then before he gets killed or whatever, he sees his crew dead, and he turns Super Saiyan. That makes more sense. That makes a lot more sense than going back into the past. And he can still be hardcore. He can still be a bastard, an evil bastard, and take on Dodoria. He might still lose to Frieza or whatever, or he might fly off somewhere after trying to convince the Saiyans or whatever. That could be an alternate timeline. But that's way more cooler, makes way more sense than him just going to the past. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. And just then I wrote a much better story than Toriyama and the other person that wrote the other story about him turning into a Super Saiyan. So yeah, they ruined Bardock, and they could have written them better. The way they connected Minus to Dragon Ball Super Broly, it was kind of and the fight wasn't even nowhere near as hardcore as it was in the original, because he fought through hundreds of soldiers, Frieza soldiers. It was just nowhere near. He wasn't hardcore at all. He just wasn't hardcore, because the first one he was psychic. He had psychic powers for the people on one of those planets, which I thought was pretty cool. The way they did it in that movie was pretty cool. Was way more interesting than anything else they came up with after that. They should not have even touched Bardock. Toriyama should have left Bardock alone. No one else should have touched him after that, because no one else wrote a better story. The story sucked. Dragon Ball Minus sucked. The Bardock's origin, new origin, it sucks. It just does. I prefer his old origin. I prefer him on the TV special. I prefer him. Prefer him. He was a lot more interesting when he first showed up, versus how he is in Dragon Ball Minus and all of that, because no one cares about this new Bardock. No one cares. I've never seen anything where, oh, I like the new Minus Bardock. I've never heard anyone ever say that. Nowhere on the internet, nowhere in real life. No one cares about this Bardock. They all like the old one. They all love the old Bardock. Okay? They all love the old one. No one cares about the new one. He is irrelevant. He sucks. Okay, he sucks. And as far as how they're doing him in Super, let's not get into that. How he was a hero all of a sudden? No, he was an evil bastard. Okay, let's stop. Let's not get into. Let's keep it. I wish they would have kept it the way it was. We liked him when he didn't care about his family. We like that version of Bardock. I'm not saying that's sending a positive message to people. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that's the way we liked him in the show. It's entertainment. It's all it is. It doesn't have to be, oh, it's my whole life changed because of Goku. No, it didn't. I'm the way I am because of my father. My father raised me. Goku didn't raise me. I didn't look for Goku for guidance. I didn't look for Vegeta and Krillin and Yamcha for guidance. It was entertainment. I liked seeing Vegeta chop people's heads off, seeing him stick his fist through people's sternum. I liked seeing the vile stuff. I like seeing Bardock go through hundreds of Frieza soldiers. I like seeing him kill people. I liked that. He wasn't my role model or anything like that. It was entertainment. That's what we saw it as. I don't know why they're trying to turn all these characters good into goody two shoes. He was good. He was great. He was a good boy. I'm sick of this stuff. We saw it as entertainment. We knew better because we had parents. But anyway, I've ranted enough. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. If y'all want to too, if you want to put in the comments who do you think, who else you think they ruined. Who else do you think Super ruined or Toriyama ruined? Yeah, I got some names of characters that people have ruined, that Dragon Ball Super has ruined, that Toriyama has ruined. Put some names down in the comments for me, and I'll do it, and I'll look into them and I'll do it, because I could probably tell you how any character you name, I could probably tell you how they were ruined. So yeah, just let me know what you think in the comments, guys. T-Dubs Entertainment signing out.